you did this as far as guys that were paid based on performance for the Browns, paid well, earned their money, so to speak, or over-earned, if you will. And Teller comes away with that. Take me through that and what you found in the analysis that you did on the Browns and performance-based pay.
The things it tells you is every team gets this pool every year, and this year was $8.5 million, and they hand out the entire pool, and it's basically determined by your playing time and then what your contract pays you. So the guys who are going to get it are the guys who are on smaller contracts who play a lot. So the thinking there is if you play a lot, it means you were valuable to your football team. They wanted you on the field, and so we're going to kind of make good a little bit on what you were being paid on your contract. Wyatt Teller was not a high draft pick. He's not making a lot of money, and he was out there a lot for the Browns. And so it's not necessarily always an indication of like, hey, you were one of the best players on the roster. I mean, look, Andrew Sendejo was pretty high up the list for the Browns because of the deal he had. But in the case of Wyatt Teller, it just tells you this is a guy we didn't even know would necessarily be the starting right guard, this time last year. And then he comes in and, missed a few games due to injury, but ultimately was really productive, kept himself on the field, and he certainly deserved to be the highest paid player as far as that performance-based pay pool goes.
Who are some of the other ones that you noticed that earned that and earned, because it goes to durability and those kind of things as well.
Right, exactly. Harrison Bryant was high up the list. This is a guy that was really good in the first half of the season and tailed off a little bit in the second half, but he's still a guy that the coaches trusted to have out there for a lot of snaps. So again, that's something that it really reflects. Rashard Higgins was high up the list. Rashard Higgins signed for under $1 million. It was not guaranteed. He was not playing the first few weeks of the season. And it was all Rashard. I give him so much credit because even this coaching staff, who finally kind of really started to utilize him early in the year, he was playing garbage time or he was inactive. When he finally got his opportunity, he showed them, you've got to have me on the field. And they went with it. And so I give Rashard Higgins a ton of credit. And so he was pretty high up the list as well as a guy that ended up playing a lot of snaps, and his base salary wasn't very high. So he gets to add a little more. And the only bad news for these guys is because of the kind of renegotiation last year with the lowered salary cap, they're not going to see this money until at least 2024. But I guess it's a nice little, I don't know what you want to call it, a nice little savings account to sit on for a few years at least.